You are listening to the Primetime Podcast with your hosts, Bryant Shizzle and Jake Jorgensen. Hello, everybody. Welcome into another Primetime Rewind. We are checking back on week 6, officially in the books. I'm here with Jake this week, as we always are, and the special guest of the week, the one, the only, Daddy. George, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. Thank you for having me on. Pleasure to be here.
I love when you're on the show, George. It's always great banter.
I love being here. Daddy is back this year, so
it's true.
Nice.
When we see the standings, we will notice.
Sure. Pain. That is pain. All right. Well, you know what? Speaking of pain, how about we rip the Band-Aid off and get into my matchup with Lane? So, funny enough, nobody else was here for this. I joined the Discord call a couple minutes beforehand, and Lane hops in for like 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure he said, "Suck these nuts," but he started talking before Discord picked up his audio, so all I heard was nuts. Yeah, I'm imagining he was telling me to suck these nuts because he beat me by over 50 points. It's kind of embarrassing, in all honesty. The team, my 2 wide receivers combined for negative 0.5, so it's going to be a good week when that happens. Olave, 1 catch, a fumble, lost it, and was it a concussion for him? Yep, concussion for him. Marvin Harrison dropped a pass, was almost a fumble. I think it might have been ruled a fumble, and it got overturned. Jake, do you remember?
I don't think it was that. I think it was just pretty much
incomplete
right away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember it being called.
I must be thinking of something else. Oh, yeah, he did have 2 targets, maybe. Yeah. Anyways, he got concussed as well. So, yeah, that's cool. Everybody else was honestly pretty fine. Jake, that trade we made, Jake Ferguson, had a pretty tough week. A couple big plays called back by, penalty. Detroit just hammered the Cowboys. Your boy, George, your boy Dak Prescott, getting hammered.
The Cowboys suck.
The Cowboys do suck.
I feel bad for Mike. Isn't he a big Cowboys fan?
Can confirm.
Yeah.
What a shame.
He puts that on himself at the end of the day. I mean, if you're going to choose to be a Cowboys fan, you better be ready for pain.
He's probably going to bandwagon back to the Bears, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was about to say, it used to be kind of a thing where I felt like he was changing teams a lot. And I don't know if that's true or not, but...
Boom. Roasted.
I did have one season where I named my team Mike's new fave team because I was doing well.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
I know it was
because you were winning.
Sure. Yeah.
That's good stuff. Oh, I just realized so breaking news, this happened like less than an hour ago, I think. The Packers are signing a new kicker, so I have to cut Narvison. He's dead. He served me well for fantasy, in all honesty. One bad week.
Yeah, he actually did all right for fantasy.
He's totally fine. I mean, he missed a ton of field goals, but Packers kick a ton of field goals, so it's kind of okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we signed McManus, I believe.
We did. McManus.
Well, he was a free agent, but I think he last played for the Jags.
What I heard is that he was on the Broncos
too, yeah.
What I heard is that he's automatic from within 50 yards, and then he was kind of like...
I've also heard that.
I think he was like 5 for 10 from 50 plus, which isn't great, but automatic from...
That's a 10-yard upgrade.
Perfect.
Because Narvison was automatic sub 40.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. George, I don't know if you knew that one yet. That was there you go. I broke some news for you.
I did not. I did see, though, the old Green Bay duo is back together.
Oh, in New York?
New Jersey.
Yeah, there's some big NFL news today, with Devontae Adams going back to the Jets for, what was it, a conditional third? I saw conflicting reports, conditional fourth, conditional third, depending on who was reporting it.
And they got to eat that contract. I don't have the number
Oh my
on top of my head,
goodness.
but they got to eat that contract as well.
Yeah, they did eat that contract. Yes. So if you're a Raiders fan, you're probably not too mad about it, in all honesty. Not like Devontae was giving you a ton on the field anyways. Probably more quarterback play than anything else, but it is what it is. There was also Amari Cooper.
Say another Packers receiver was in the news today. I don't know if you saw.
Oh, really?
Not like it's big news or anything. But
I don't think I did see this.
With Amari Cooper going to the Bills, they just the Bills released Marquez Valdez.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yep, yeah. MVS got cut.
I was totally thinking about it'd be really funny if the Jets signed Marquez.
I'm thinking the Chiefs might pick him back up.
I could see it. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me.
But regardless, Amari Cooper to the Bills. That is huge for Amari Cooper owners around the world. Is that Brandon? Yeah. Oh, George, is that you?
What?
Do you have Amari Cooper?
No, I dropped.
You dropped Cortland Sutton. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Oh, it's Cade. Yeah, so big for Cade. Although I know he does have
Oh, I bet Brandon had him at one point. That was probably in that trade with Nico Collins and Bijan, I'm assuming.
It could have been. Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah. Can confirm. So, yeah, good news for Amari Cooper. However, Cade does have a Keon Coleman as well. So, I don't know.
That hurts.
Yeah, it does kind of hurt. So, and Josh Allen, but that doesn't bother you, right? Get the stack going.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, that's fine. Let's get back to the matchup. Pretty much everybody else was fine. Whatever. On Lane's side of the ball, the Lions just hammered the Cowboys. In all honesty, I'm lucky Amon-Ra didn't have 40 points. So, shout out your guy, Jake, for catching that tud.
My guy. Actually,
Jameson?
Well, I'll talk about my guy during
okay.
Matchup, so
okay.
I'll save that one.
Debo and Derrick Henry both popped off. James Cook was a surprise inactive Monday night. I know he was it turf toe, I think they said he was dealing with? Yeah, dealing with some toe injuries. I know he was questionable, but it sounded like people were expecting him to play. He ended up not playing. Lane ended up not carrying 50 points. So, is what it is. David Njoku, yeah, all these guys were totally fine. On the bench, I did bench Mike Evans this week. Bit controversial. Turns out he was my top scoring wide receiver that I would have realistically played. Shout out Romeo Dobbs. But I don't know, I felt like Lattimore was going to clamp him. And I mean, I was right. The process was correct, but
and you're right, like Godwin was the guy.
Yeah.
So good instincts, I'd say.
Unfortunately,
just unfortunate.
I got owned by concussions, and Dak had negative points. So good move benching him. Apparently, 2 picks, 4 sacks, no tuds. He stinks. The Cowboys they have a problem right now. They have a bye week this week, I believe, so they're gonna have to figure that out. Let's see. Nothing else to really talk about here, I don't think, other than Evan Ingram had 21 points coming off the IR. So I don't know. He probably slots in, but him and Njoku both came back from injury. So that'll do it. Anybody else have anything to say about Lane hammering me?
I got nothing.
No protection needed. Fuck.
That's pretty funny.
All right, we're gonna go to Greg and Lemons. That's the next biggest blowout, not by much. The Bake Show, baby, 4 touchdowns, 300 yards. He threw 3 picks. It was honestly peak Jameis Winston. I loved it. Fantastic game. Tampa scored. It was like 17-0, and then the Saints scored like 20-something points unanswered, and then Tampa came by and won 51-27. It's like, all right, that's a game. So
yeah, I think the Saints had 27, not 27, like 20 points in like one quarter.
Yeah,
second quarter I think it was.
Bonkers. Yeah. So Baker's been honestly really good this year, and he plays Baltimore next week. So
not that I need this for my team, but I still look back at the transaction that Greg had. I think he bid one more on me than Baker weeks ago, and
that would change his team.
It would have changed a lot. Yeah, if he didn't get him.
especially with Sam Darnold on the bench. You know, Darnold's been all right, but he would have lost this week for sure. You'd think. Without going back to look, yeah, he would have had somebody else. Who knows? Maybe he would have had Derek Carr. Send in the car, baby. Greg seemed kind of popped off. His wide receivers were a bit disappointing. You're not super happy about Jamar Chase only getting 12, so especially against the Giants. But, you know, DeAndre Swift was fantastic once again. Is that 2 or 3 weeks in a row for him? 3 weeks in a row, baby. NBA Jam rules. He is on fire and on bye. That sucks. Yikes. Sorry, Greg. Brock Bowers continued his dominance. He's just going to be a stud. Yeah, him and Travis Kelce are going to be those guys, right? Oh, look at that schedule. Rams, Chiefs, second and first against tight ends. Oh, yeah, baby. With that Devontae Adams trade, Brock Bowers is that guy.
Yeah, I was about to say, it would only help him
at
Devontae. Yeah.
Now, the only thing you worry a little bit is whether or not that offense can score points. He might not be a touchdown guy, but he doesn't need a touchdown to be successful, as he showed you last week. Pittsburgh's a darn good defense. 16 points is pretty darn good. Lemon side of the ball, Mike Williams, I think, got concussed on 3 targets. Yeah, he got concussed. A lot of concussions this week. Started Zeke again. I mean, not like he had a ton of options, I guess. Oh, jeez. Literally didn't have another option. Cool.
I honestly thought Zeke had more points than he did because it felt like he had 8 rushes. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he does that every week, man.
That's brutal.
He's good. He's good for 1.5 plus, and that's about it. You know, Eckler, Kittle's been really good this year. 2 touchdowns. He's cooking. He's about the only player on Mike's team that's worth having. Joe Burrow's been all right. Bad week this week, but you know, he can do it. Everybody else kind of stinks. He needs Tua to be back so badly.
He does, and also dangerous territory for Rachaad White. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with him the rest of the season.
Yeah,
the 2 backup running backs are just as good.
Bucky looks awesome, and was it Sean Tucker? Is that his name?
Yeah, that guy did really good too.
I think he was the number 1 running back this week. Spoiler alert. So, yeah, that's a game. Let's move on from that. George, you're up next, buddy. Look at this.
Ooh,
Daddy's touchdown bank. Let's go. What bank is that, George? TD bank. That's awesome. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here, huh? Lamar was good. I think Lamar is QB1 on the year.
I think so. He's been cooking.
Yeah, big time. I mean, this is one of his worst weeks this year because he only had 1 touchdown. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, that's good. But, 22 points is totally fine. T. Higgins was that guy. A.J. Brown, welcome back. You missed him, didn't you, buddy?
Oh, I sure did.
Big, long touchdown, contested catch. Yeah, so did Jalen Hurts. He missed A.J. Brown as well. And Devonta Smith, who also came back. Breece Hall, he played Buffalo, who is one of the worst run defenses in the league. And, yeah, he proved that. Plus 5 catches. I don't know, Jake, do you worry a little bit about Breece Hall's receiving work now that Devontae's in town, taking targets away?
Slightly, but not too much.
Because he's been getting, like 5 targets a game, it seems like. I don't know if that'll quite be the same. Might lose 1 or 2.
Yeah, I think he does lose like maybe 1.5 per game, I'd guess. But no, he played really well this past week. I just keep waiting for Braylon Allen to take over, and he's defending his starting role most of the time. So
I love Braylon Allen, but the most he's ever gonna do is like timeshare to the point where they're both productive. Breece Hall is that guy, man. He's one of, if not the most talented running back in the NFL. But the Jets have just been so stinky. Their offensive line is bad, right? That's the problem. They can't run the ball. So this past week against Buffalo, you can run the ball. So Pittsburgh next week, tough matchup, but you can never bench Brees Hall. George, you're hoping the offense is better now that Devontae's there and that he has more touchdown opportunities because he only has 3 touchdowns on the year.
Not only is the offensive line bad, I think Aaron Rodgers would have had like 375 passing yards, but like every time they have a good game, it's just called back for holding every single time.
It's not good. You just start Tajay Spears, huh?
Yeah, that was a bad call on my end.
Can't help but notice that the starting running back for the Falcons is on your bench. Shout out Brandon.
I can't hear that.
Hey, baby. 23 points. That's a good game.
It was a depressing week. I made some split second decisions to drop some key players for some trash players that ended up not benefiting me, but you learn.
It's what it is. And Tajay Spears, you're hoping he gets a few catches, right? Wow, he has a perfect catch rate. Look at that. No drops. But he didn't get any targets this past week, and that's why he only had 2 points. He gets 2 catches, and you're fine. He gets 5, 6, 7 points. But he did not. So you said you cut him. He's dead.
Yeah.
He can join Cortland Sutton on the waiver wire.
I'm not picking that dude back up. He was trash.
Trey McBride took over for a little bit once Marvin Harrison went out. It was basically the only option. So he caught almost 100 yards.
You should have traded for him with me when you had the chance.
I got Jake Ferguson. He's a stud.
How do you do?
Horrible. Horrible. Yeah. Brock Purdy on the bench, but you're never going to start him over Lamar, so you take that one, and who cares? Justin Jefferson on bye, and you still got that dub. That's all you really need to see, right?
100%.
Nick side of the ball. Kyler stunk. Kind of worried about Kyler. He can be good, right? Like, he can throw up 20, 30 points, but he can also stink. Bit concerning if you're a Kyler owner. Nick B's got Kyler and my boy Anthony Richardson. Sounds like Richardson's going to play this week. So, who's Arizona?
I will say the Cardinals didn't even see. Well, I guess part of it's because Marvin Harrison Jr. got hurt early, but they didn't really try to do anything
right
too far down the field at all.
They couldn't, man. They fumbled every time they tried.
Very true, and definitely respecting our safeties who have been
awesome.
I think we have the 2 top highest rated safeties in the league technically right now.
Per PFF, I believe you are correct.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. So, and Evan Williams has been insane.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I honestly don't. If Richardson's active next week against Miami, you probably sit him. But it's not like Kyler's matchup is that much better. Chargers. I'd honestly be looking to potentially stream a quarterback.
There's options.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those options is trading with George. Pick up that Brock Purdy, baby.
Ooh.
I'm open to trades.
The problem with Brock Purdy is if he has a good matchup, you can't even rely on him. He's just, sometimes he's good and sometimes he's bad. Flip a coin, baby.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, hype him up for him, George. Hype him up.
110 points.
He's probably the best backup quarterback. So
he's a good backup quarterback in fantasy, yeah. Definitely not Patrick Mahomes. He's a horrible backup quarterback.
That's true.
Shout out Lemons.
Dude, shout out Lemons. Your team is dog water this year.
Oh!
Boom. Roasted.
Oh, jeez. All right. DJ Moore, bad. Mason got hurt. Was lighting it up on Thursday night. We were getting a little bit of play-by-play during the rewind last week on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he left shoulder injury, so that's not good. They're talking McCaffrey might be back soon. Otherwise, that Isaac Guerrero guy took over, and he looked all right. So who knows what's going on in San Fran, man. I don't know, and who knows, maybe Mason's back. Although I thought I'd heard that it was supposed to be missing some time. Maybe not. Presence. Oh, he practiced on Monday. Okay, so he could play. I don't know how confident you are in him if he does. But I mean, Nick doesn't have a ton of running back options, so Tank Bigsby, I guess, but he didn't really get any work. Kind of weird. I think was it Dearness Johnson for Jacksonville got all the work when Etienne got hurt, which is really weird because Tank Bigsby was awesome last week. 13 carries, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, crazy good. And then the starter gets hurt, and he's like, oh, 7 carries, 24 yards. Yep. Kind of weird. Everybody else, Brian Thomas Jr. was bad, but I mean, Chicago's been shutting people down, so. And in London, too. Chicago's putting up big boy numbers. Caleb Williams looked all right, huh? That's all I'm willing to say.
He did look all right. But yeah, Chicago has been shutting people down, but they've also had an incredibly easy stretch recently.
Yes.
I mean, Packers haven't had a crazy stretch either. Opponents, but
I don't think the Bears have beaten a team that has more than 1 win. Correct me if I'm wrong. At the time, at least.
Sounds right. And I think we also are in a similar situation, so I can't say too much. But yeah, Caleb Williams has been looking great.
Take it easy, Jake. Take it easy. Nick is praying Malik Neighbors is back next week. He should be, but he's got to get through that concussion protocol. So,
I heard that you went to a concert under the concussion protocol. Concert under the concussion protocol.
I heard about that as well.
Coach wasn't happy with him.
Yeah, yeah, that's a choice. I remember when Manthai was concussed in high school, and then he had to have the lights dimmed in the room, and he would basically just sleep all day. Must be nice.
I too remember that because we would take a test, and then he would just leave and not take the test.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I remember that.
Meanwhile, Malik Neighbors is going to Travis Scott concerts. Wonder if that's what Preston did after school. When he wasn't taking tests, he was just going to Travis Scott concerts. That's why he was concussed for so long.
Hey, yeah. On that subject, shout out Preston. He was the only one to choose me to win this week.
Can confirm.
Ooh.
Hey, Preston was 4 for 5 on the picks. Jake, you and I were 3 for 5. Wow. I think we might have had the same exact picks. But yeah, shout out Preston. His only incorrect pick was himself. Get fucked. Oh man. All right. Nick's bench, pretty uneventful. Bucky Irving was good. But like you said, so was Sean Tucker. And if Rachaad White's back next week, against Baltimore, I don't see how you can start him. In all honesty, if Sean Tucker's gonna be there and Rachaad White's healthy, I don't think you're ever gonna be able to start him. Maybe against Carolina. Maybe. But a 3-headed monster on an offense that's, pretty good, right? They're a good offense. But passing the rock around like that, when Godwin and Mike Evans are going to get theirs, there's a lot of weapons there. It's great for Baker. But not really good for anybody else. I don't know, man. I'd be upset about that if I was Nick B. And I know how it feels, too, because I have Bucky Irving in 2 other leagues. I'm scared. Chase Brown, you can start. He's been good. Maybe not against Cleveland, but it'd probably be okay. All right, that's all I got here. Next matchup. Speaking of Manthai, Jake, here we go, buddy. 148 to 131. Jordan Love, baby.
This was a great lineup. It would have been my best lineup of the season. I mean, I don't think it was the most points I scored, but
how about that tight end?
Yeah, Mark Andrews. That was incredible to get that notification that was a touchdown to Mark Andrews. And then he had another catch later in the game that was solid. I think that was like, whoa, he's out here playing football again. That's awesome.
You should have seen. I was at home sitting next to Brandon, and we're watching the red zone, flicking between it and the Packer game during commercials. And Brandon's like, Mark Andrews just scored a touchdown, and we pull it up. And I'm like, I wasn't even mad. Because I knew I wouldn't have started him. I would have started Tyler Conklin over him. I wouldn't have cared. I would have been like, oh, you know what? Yeah, 3 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. So, congratulations, Jake. You've won the trade. Yeah. No other weeks will be considered.
There was a part of me that was thinking maybe start Likely, and then I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
I asked Brandon right away, too. I said, did he start Likely? Because I would have. And he's like, nah.
Yeah, and my running, so I started Trey Sermon because I didn't start in the previous week, and he had, I think he had 17 points, I want to say. Let me see if that was right. 18 points the previous week.
Yeah,
I felt like I had if Taylor's out, got to start him again. Have to, even though I did like Rico Dowdle. And actually, I was watching that Cowboys game. Dowdle looked fine. It was honestly the game script that
yeah.
they didn't really do anything.
He only had 5
and
carries.
Zeke had more rushes. Yeah, Zeke had more rushes, and he was doing absolutely nothing. So
Dowdle
I was a
looks
little
good.
puzzled by that, but he's
He
catching
looks
some passes out there.
Detroit's run defense is so good, though.
Yeah, that Dowdle had 5 catches too, so that's gonna be nice. But
yeah,
Sermon will be gone. He will not be in my roster anymore. Personally,
you can pick him up, George, with all that extra space you have.
You can pick him up. Now Najee is another thing.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that I have now a couple options.
I mean,
running back more than having 0.
We won't play the Raiders every week, but yeah.
That is true, but Najee looked legitimately good.
Yeah.
You already kind of said it was against the Raiders, but
hey, he looked good.
David Montgomery, he just got re-signed a 2-year deal, so
I'm pretty sure Najee actually like made a guy miss in that game too. I don't know if I've ever seen him make a guy miss.
I saw him dive into the end zone.
Yeah,
kind of like tiptoe the sideline and dive into the end zone. You don't see that kind of effort from Najee Harris.
What a stud, dude! Brought me back to his Bama days.
Yeah, so this matchup started with, let's see. Okay, I had Caleb Williams. He played the early game on Sunday, and he was lighting it up.
Yeah.
That's one of those situations where I was like, damn, I really wish I started him because him and Love kind of have, like, I'm not entirely sure. Now I probably will start Love pretty much every week. He's been playing insane, but I did slightly regret not starting Caleb Williams in the morning game. And luckily, I think the first drive or two, I think it was the second drive, I want to say, it was a touchdown to Jaden Reed, I want to say. So that part was nice with the stack. But yeah, everybody showed up. CeeDee Lamb should have had a lot more. I don't know how he didn't. But Dak was throwing him the ball, but it was getting picked. So it does happen.
It happens
Chicago
sometimes.
only getting 10.5 against Jacksonville surprised me.
Yeah.
Seemed like they'd have a lot more, but didn't need. Actually, I was really nervous when Joe Mixon was popping off because early in the week, it was Joe. I just kept seeing Joe Mixon.
He's that guy, man.
Light it up.
Tough matchup.
And then I celebrated. And then I was watching the Lions Cowboys. I celebrated the Sam Laporta touchdown because I had him in a couple other leagues, and then I realized Preston had him, so that was unfortunate. But yeah, it came down to Sunday night. Zach Moss did nothing.
Zach Moss.
Difference, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, man. Did he get hurt? I don't think so. He just didn't really touch the ball.
Just didn't happen, yeah. Oh, I got it. I said I was going to say it, but Jameson Williams.
That's your guy? 17 points?
I was sad because he dropped a ball that would have probably been a 45-yard touchdown, I want to say. It's just a crosser, but with Jameson, he just houses those all the time. So, but right after he dropped that ball, they went right back to him on kind of like I think it was like a 10-yard hook, maybe like 15. So you like to see that they go right back to him.
And then
he did catch like a 50-yard bomb, as is tradition. And I want to say
it is a classic stat line.
Also, my Amon-Ra take, I think everyone in the Lions had chances at touchdowns. And a lot of people scored touchdowns, but I don't think Amon-Ra did. So
I think he did.
I don't know.
Not this week, I don't think.
I played against him. Lane had him, and he didn't really have that many points.
No?
I don't think so.
They were trying to throw it to offensive linemen.
Oh, he did. No, George is right.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
He just only had 4 catches.
Oh, well,
good call, George. Fantasy expert.
That was a good call.
I watched the recap to talk football with the clients.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Shout out you.
Well, Jameson's still better. So.
Oh, I disagree.
Yeah, what's up?
I will say, for you having what was your draft pick? Like not until the 12th round or something?
It feels like that, doesn't it?
It felt that way, but yeah, it was the 7th round. My keepers were CeeDee Lamb, which obviously the big keeper.
Yep. Diggs.
Stephon Diggs, who was an average keeper based on the fact that they had Nico. They had Nico tanked out on him, so it was an average keeper. And then Jaden Reed, which I knew was going to be solid, but it's been insane to keep him in the 17th round.
Yeah.
But yeah, George, I drafted David Montgomery was my first pick, who's just been nasty this year. And then I had right after that round, I realized I didn't have the next pick. Brandon had that pick from me, so I had to wait another round, and then it was Najee. So I just tried to draft whatever running back was available because I kept 3 wide receivers. But yeah, no, the team's been looking pretty good so far.
Very
Jordan
good.
Love and Caleb Williams are starting to do better. So
helps when you play Preston. Nah, just
it
kidding.
does. It does.
He had a fine week this week. Your team just popped off.
They did, and shout out Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
I'm very jealous of not having him in any leagues anymore because I used to love having him in Dynasty, and he finally has a good quarterback now.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
look at that,
a
man.
legitimately exciting play now. He was a good play before, now he's exciting.
First 2 weeks for Daniels to figure it out, and then boom, 15 plus every single week. Dog.
Yeah.
He's better than Amon Ra, confirmed. Shout out Lane. Hey, Devontae Adams on the bench too. Preston is back, baby. He's back. He's got all these guys. Who's he going to start? So Zach Moss is the bench. He's got Mixon and Jacobs, McLaurin, Ayuk, Devontae Adams. Oh, he's got JT. Shit, you're benching Ayuk. Starting JT. Hey, that's not a bad lineup. Laporta.
No, it's not.
Quarterback, CJ Stroud. Yeah, that could be a lot worse, man. I mean, CJ Stroud's been okay. Just good enough to get you by. Yeah, Puka's coming back. Hell yeah, Preston, this is a good team, man. Shame you're 1-5. Wow. Unlucky, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure last year when his team was doing pretty poorly, I want to say I traded for Joe Mixon from him. So I'm wondering if he starts like 1-7 or something, and he trades away Joe Mixon to somebody again.
I'll get him. I'll get Joe Mixon this time.
Keep acquiring mid to late round picks for Mixon.
Just so he can redraft Joe Mixon.
Yes, just so he can redraft him.
Oh shit. All right, let's move on to the matchup of the week. And matchup of the week, this was. Brandon was texting us in the group chat basically until the buzzer. Cade just squeaks by. Brandon had Garrett Wilson going on Monday night, dropping a big boy 27.7. Might be his last big boy game of the year with Devontae coming to town. R.I.P. Brandon. But, Cade's team held on. He had, what was it, Amari Cooper was going? Oh, no, sorry. He plays Buffalo now. Did not before. Godwin, that's who it was. Godwin. Jake.
What's up?
Godwin did pop off, though. He did.
I thought you just said he had someone going.
I thought he did, too.
Godwin's going.
Must not have.
Gotcha.
Whatever. Yeah, Garrett Wilson was going, though, and he close but no cigar. Brandon was praying for a Garrett Wilson reception at the end there. I think he went out for a drive, a few plays. He went out for a short period of time, and Brandon was freaking out. And then he came back in, and Brandon's like, "Oh yeah, we got this, baby." And then I told him he wasn't going to get another catch.
Yeah. Yeah, Garrett Wilson had almost all of the points in the first half, and then had like two quick catches after halftime, and then Brandon needed 1 point. Well, I guess it's the same now. It is. He needed like 1.4.
Yep.
And it was a throw to the end zone. It was like a hospital pass to the end zone where it was so obvious right away that he was going to be hurt, and he's just rolling around on the ground, and I just know what Brandon's feeling after watching Garrett Wilson work his way back into this matchup for him.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think he just said pain or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Poor dude. Jalen Hurts was good. Zay Flowers was great. Bijan finally had that week. I mean, he hasn't done that all year. Garrett Wilson has that week. 2 weeks in a row for him. But yeah, I mean, James Conner stunk. Darnell Mooney wasn't very good. You see Tank Dell on your bench, and you're like, oh, Brandon. No Nico Collins. Darnell Mooney. I probably would have played Darnell Mooney too. Carolina's a good matchup, and Darnell Mooney had been coming off that big game.
Why did Cade bench Josh Allen?
So here's the thing. I can tell you exactly why he benched Josh Allen, because I also benched Josh Allen in my Dynasty League. And I won anyways, but I started Daniel Jones instead of him.
Dude, that's almost as bad.
It's worse. It's so much worse, dude.
Lamar.
It's so much worse than starting Justin Fields.
Yeah.
I don't think Daniel Jones had really any points. I don't think
Daniel Jones with no Malik Neighbors actually is crazy.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I was running it through my brain as the game was about to start, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, Daniel Jones in that league had 12.8, and we do not get minus points for sacks in that league like we do in this one. So who knows what he would have had in this one. Yeah. Anyways, so the thought process, I can break it down for you. The Jets defense up to this point has been absolutely shutting teams down. Right? They were 32nd against quarterbacks, meaning they're the elite of the elite. It was in New York. Josh Allen literally got his head blown off last week, was allegedly unconscious, really seemed concussed, definitely not okay, right? Played like shit last week against the Texans, completed like 9 passes the entire game, yet 9 for 30, right? Now this game, no James Cook, no Khalil Shakir, who was his number one wide receiver, who we also didn't have last week, and you saw what happened there. There was a lot of things going against Josh Allen this week. The only guy he really had was Dalton Kincaid, who really didn't have that great of a game. So I get it, Cade. I respect it. It is painful. See, I'm okay with my decision, and I guess you are too, because you also won. But if you would have lost this game on that, I know if that would have been me, I would have been very mad. But I get it. I get the Josh Allen benching. I did it too. I regret it. I'm never doing it again.
Absolutely. It was a good question, George, because that's also immediately what I noticed while looking at the score of this matchup late, probably in like the third quarter, and realizing that there's a pretty realistic chance that Garrett Wilson actually gets Brandon the win, and Josh Allen could have got enough to get the win for Cade. But yeah, he does survive here. And Brandon's team is dead.
That is so tough too, because if Brandon gets this win, he's 2-4. He's 1 game out of the playoffs, and he's fine, right? He's totally fine. His team is pretty good, but now he's 1-5. Got a long road ahead of him. Some of his guys are good. Inconsistency all over the place. G. Rice is dead. Pacheco is dead. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Cade scraped by with the win. The only questionable thing that I'll call to the attention of the people is, I guess Amari Cooper had been okay, but Josh Downs. Once footsteps Flacco,
I think Joe Flacco is actually
a very elite quarterback. Once Joe Flacco was announced the starter this week, I probably would have thrown him in over Cooper. I'd bench him 100% if Richardson was the guy, but he was not. So personally, hindsight 2020, obviously, but Josh Downs with Flacco has been awesome. Without Flacco, we don't talk about that. Everybody else was pretty bad. ETN, rip, -1 rush yard, got injured. You know who else had him? Me. All my players. All right, that does it for the matchups. Head to the league table quick. Peek how good George's team is. Tied for first place, we've got Cade, Daddy's TD Bank. Not to be confused with Titty Bank, as Trent would probably say, for any OG members of the league. Let's see some TDs. Trent's fantasy team name from back in the day. Oh, jeez. Jake, you're 5-1 too against all odds. Congrats, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Lane,
it really is against all odds.
Hey, yeah, I know. I see that 649. Just be happy you got 784 there.
Yeah, definitely.
Goff on D's 4-2 on his own after beating me. Greg and I are both 3-3. Greg has a ton of points scored. Me, not so much. Lemons 2-4, and then Nick, Brandon, and Preston all 1-5. One of these teams is not quite like the others. All right. Well, transactions. We can take a quick peek at the transactions because there's a bit to talk about, but this is a Tuesday again, unfortunately, so the waivers have not gone through. So let's just go to this one. Right before the game started, this was Sunday morning, right, George? Oh, no, this was Saturday. Saturday night, 8 p.m., George cuts Cortland Sutton, picks up Tajay Spears. And I remember in the group chat, Cade questions this immediately. Right, it was Cade, right?
Yeah, he was questioning me. Now I'm questioning him on the Josh Allen move.
Hey, whoa, George. You're not without sin. Did you see what Cortland Sutton did this week?
Yeah, I saw.
15 points, man. He looked pretty good.
It's all right. The Broncos are still pretty bad.
I won't disagree with that. So, Cortland Sutton will probably get picked up. Question is who? Ricky Pearsall got cut. Nobody really cares about anybody else. Jalen Tolbert got picked up, but he'll probably get cut immediately if he hasn't been already. He has not been. The Bassmaster got cut. Wow, George. You're just cutting people loose, huh? He's been pretty stinky, huh?
Dude, he was bad.
Okay. Did he miss one? Must have missed one.
He had to. He was negative for a bit.
Bummer. Yeah, the Gus Bus got cut. He landed himself on the injured reserve when Johnson got picked up. Whatever. Okay, that does it for that. Who cares? Best players of the week: Baker, 38 points for Greg. Running back Sean Tucker was a free agent. Few free agents in this one. You'll see that's a trend. Chris Godwin for Cade, 40.5. Cole Kmet, 24 points, free agent. Jake Bates, cousin of Master, 17 points for Lemons. Yeah, you like that, Jake?
Yeah, I did.
And the Detroit defense, 20 points, free agent. All right, what else we got? Matchup previews. Let's rip them. So, week 7, I have Nick B, and I am, this is probably going to make me lose, but I'm very thankful for this matchup. Nick, I think your team is pretty solid, and you've put up way more points than me on the year. But for whatever reason, your team just doesn't jive. They hate each other. So I'm actually really glad DJ Moore's on by. Oh, fuck. Malik Neighbors is back. I'm dead!
Brian.
Yeah.
I need to stop you there super quick. Did you just say jive?
Jive? Yeah, Jive. Yeah.
That is. I just learned. Dude, this is going to be such a roast on myself, but I just learned that word like 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to lie.
Congratulations.
Dude, who even uses that freaking word? Jive.
What's that called when you learn a new word and you hear it everywhere right after?
Confirmation bias? I don't know.
I'll look it up while you're talking. I have to.
Please do.
If I can find it.
Jive.
Yeah, you like that, George? I'm glad you like that. You know who's going to be laughing at this when they listen through on the show? I know Brandon is laughing right now. I can smell it. He's going to text me tomorrow.
All right. And there's no I'm going to be able to pronounce this correctly, but the Bader Meinhof.
Whoa, the what?
I definitely did not pronounce that right, probably, but it's a real thing. Also called the frequency illusion.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Do that.
Yes. Okay, Jake. Very cool. Thank you. I'm going to have to make some changes in my roster. I had Khalil Shakir in there so far this week because, Marvin Harrison and Olave are probably both not going to play because they're both concussed. Seems like ever since the new concussion rules took over, if you're concussed, you're basically a lock to miss a week unless especially Olave who plays on Thursday. Harrison plays on Monday, so maybe he's got a shot, but, that'd be risking it for a biscuit. Romeo Dobbs might find his way into my lineup, or Juju. Actually, it could be Juju, because Khalil Shakir is no longer the one, so that'll be a problem. Ferguson's on bye, so Conklin's going to find his way back in there. You know what? Bad week last week, but he's a stud, man. Actually, I might have to find a new tight end, too, because Devontae Adams is in town now, so all my targets are gone. Wow. Wish I had Mark Andrews. Just kidding, Jake. That guy stinks. Thank you for taking him. Narvison's going to have to get cut. I'm going to have to make some moves, boys. Some money moves. And guess who has 0 waiver claims in right now? This guy.
I got a tight end for you.
Yeah, you got a tight end for me? I don't need a tight end. I got Fergie, baby. You McBride, though, huh? Ferguson for McBride, straight up.
Nah, I'll trade you the Eagles one. What's that dude's name?
Oh, Goddard. Didn't he get hurt?
Goddard. Did he?
I don't know. I feel like I remember him getting hurt, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he just stinks. Oh, you know what it is? It's A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith are back, so he might as well be hurt.
Yeah, PTO.
Let's see. I'm not really scared of Kyler, but Drake London can do his thing. DJ Moore's on bye. Jordan Mason may or may not play. Yeah, I mean, it's a lineup. Neighbors will find his way back in there over DJ Moore, and I'll be terrified. George, who do you got winning this one, buddy?
So Nick's team is the better team.
Wow.
But he's been having.
That was an insane way to start that. That was insane. Actually. That was insane for a 1-5 team.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. That was funny as fuck.
Jake, you're gonna have to press the button.
What's that?
I'll do it for you.
You got it.
I'm gonna pick you, Bryant, just because I love your running backs.
Yeah, I know you do. You've been trying to trade for them forever.
Yeah, and you won't freaking budge. But
that's because they're RB1 and RB2, bro. They're studs. Actually,
one can go for 50. One can go for 30. Who knows?
Tomorrow's that guy.
Nick's luck just hasn't been there, so I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna ride it.
Oh. You're gonna what it, George? Take it easy, buddy.
No.
Jake, who do you got?
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna take Nick B.
Yeah, I can smell that.
And I agree with George on that one. But
wow,
the starting lineup I like more. It's all that matters.
This guy, my starting lineup is gonna be so different, Jake. Just you,
yeah, that's
just
the thing.
you watch.
I don't know what your starting lineup is. You could say the same thing about me when it gets to mine.
Yeah, you just want me to give away all my waiver claims.
I do.
All right, that's it. That's enough of that. Week 7. Oh, the 1-5 heavyweight matchup over here. So Dead versus Full Chub.
Someone's gonna be 1-6 by my math.
2 different vibes. Can confirm. Jake. 1-5-1.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah.
All right, Brandon's got Cooper Kupp back. It seems likely that Cooper Kupp will be back. In all honesty, I'm benching Garrett Wilson for Darnell Mooney. Is that bad? Or Tank Dell? You can take probably Tank Dell. You can take your pick. Don't care. Is that bad of me?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, George starts Garrett Wilson. Rogers simp.
Think about it. He's not going to have the attention anymore. So
yeah, or the targets.
I don't really. Yeah. I honestly don't think I don't think I'd start Tank Dell against the Packers. I really don't.
Bro,
I hope I don't regret this statement, but
you're gonna regret that statement. He's a dog. And Brennan's kind of a Tank Dell hater though, so he might start Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney's good every other game, so start him this week, Brennan. Yeah, I don't know. If it's me, I'd question Garrett Wilson. I'd at least want to see it for a week because Devontae Adams is going to be that guy immediately for Rodgers, right? He's going to be the alpha, the number one target. Now Garrett Wilson could totally get his still, right? He could, but he could also get 5 targets for 55 yards, which is fine, 10 points, but I don't know. Pittsburgh's tough matchup. Rodgers is going to be on his butt a lot. We'll see. But Bijan, pretty solid. Achane in the lineup is, I don't know, probably a bit tough in all honesty. I'd want to bench Achane too. But I don't know who you're putting in for him, so I guess you're kind of stuck with him. Connor hasn't been the best, but you might start him anyways. I don't know. That's a toss-up. Jake, what do you think? Achane or Connor? Your life's on the line. Gun to your head.
Life's on the line.
Yeah.
I think Connor's going to be more dependable here. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm scared of Achane right now. I'm not scared of playing against him. I'm scared of starting.
He hasn't had a good game, but he plays the Colts, and the Colts have been bad against running backs. I get it. He's not going to get 14 points. I can almost guarantee you that, unless he scores a touchdown. Yeah, that's a tough one. Kelsey will be that guy. Zay Flowers. Preston Scott Stroud. Ayuk should hit the bench for Devontae Adams. Cold take. Freezing cold take. Assuming Devontae Adams is active. In which
that is cold take.
Or, better yet, JT hits the lineup against Miami.
Yeah.
And Waddle slides up. Yeah, it'll take out Waddle. I'm assuming Devontae will be active. You don't want to. Yeah, Preston. This is vintage Preston bad GMing right here. Holy shit, dude. Get Ayuk out of your lineup. Get Waddle out of your lineup. Get JT in there and get Devontae Adams in there, dude. Devontae Adams with Aaron Rodgers. That's like a George Martinez, Aaron Rodgers suckfest right there. Rodgers and Adams are made for each other. Sorry, George.
You know, I'm not going to even comment on that.
So I'm not going to comment on that.
Yeah. I mean, Ayuk's been all right, but shit, he just had one good week. You can't ride on that. Pause.
He got paid, though.
He did get paid. Yeah, I don't know. This is questionable behavior from Preston here. Very questionable. Can you start Matt Stafford with Cooper Kupp back? Probably not. Nope. You could cut Matt Stafford is what you can do with him, Preston. Fuck. Figure it out, Preston. God damn it, dude. That's the team to... What's his wife's name again?
Oh, you're going there.
Pass it over to her, Preston. I'm drawing a blank. What's Preston's wife's name again?
Oh, Julia.
Julia, thank you. Pass the team to Julia, Preston. Jesus Christ, dude. All right. Oh, if you make Preston, I'm taking you to win. You better listen to my advice. I'm putting an asterisk on this. If come next week, Preston has Brandon Ayuk and Jalen Waddle in there, I'm switching my pick to Brandon. But if he pulls those guys and listens to Big Poppy Shiz, he'll be fine. Understand me, Manti? Putting you in on my list. Jake, who do you got? That made me mad.
I got Preston here pending some of these adjustments to the line.
Oh, you put an asterisk on there too? Pussy. No, I'm just kidding. George, who do you got, buddy?
I'm a gambling man. I got Brandon.
All right. You're loving the bees. Loving the shizzes. Some shiz loving.
Dude, I'm going to switch my pick on you, bro.
Oh, shit. All right, next matchup, we got Cade and Lemons. This is Cade. I'm not even going to break it down.
Next.
Jake, you're good. George, you good? Cade?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Mike. I can't be bothered. All right. Jake, we got you in lane.
Yeah.
That was so disrespectful.
This is a 5-1 team. What are you talking about?
No, I was talking about the previous matchup.
No, I'm talking about George. He said 92 points. What?
That is embarrassing. He says Nick V is a better team than me, and then he comes over with this shit. 92. I guess both can be true. Jordan Love being projected for 20.
Montgomery's projections, yeah. Actually, against
Minnesota's a tough matchup, man.
I'm saying his projections have been that the entire season.
You're not wrong. They've been slowly going up. But his projection should probably be 14 points. And I think that's probably pretty realistic for him. He's been scoring touchdowns. And when you score touchdowns, you get double digits. We'll see how that goes. Minnesota's a tough matchup. But, Detroit looked awesome last week. Without Aiden Hutchinson now, we'll see if they're quite the same team. But Najee against the Jets, also a tough matchup. Jaden Reed, you start him if he's playing. I assume he's playing. What did they end up saying his injury was? Ankle?
I believe so.
Did it even say? Hurt his ankle. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He did play through it. He'll probably be fine. Stephon Diggs, you can start him as long as Nico Collins is out. Same with Tank Dell, in my opinion. Jordan Love, probably aren't benching him, especially with Caleb Williams on bye. You don't have a choice. Houston's pretty passable on.
We got CeeDee Lamb on the bye as well, so
Ooh.
Jameson Williams has been elevated into the flex.
Against Minnesota.
Tough one. That's a tough one. Like, I could see him doing good. I could also see the
Kicker and defense both on bye.
Like, I saw the Texans really struggled a lot against Minnesota, so part of me is scared of that. But at the same time, the Lions' offensive line is very different from the Texans' offensive line, so I expect Jameson to get his points.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, buddy. So, Jake, Brandon Aubrey, huh? You're gonna have to roster him, aren't you?
There's no way I'm gonna. First of all, I'm not dropping him. He's been insane. But
Brandon made a funny comment today that people were dropping 100% of their fab if you cut
him. Yeah.
What do you mean you don't have to cut him? Blake Corum's that guy, dude.
Well, I just said that.
So you're cutting Trey Sermon and Blake Corum?
Trey Sermon. I don't have to cut Corum. Yeah, not what I say that for.
Oh, you're cutting the Bears defense? That's pretty ballsy.
Bears defense, yeah.
They play Washington, bro. Next week. Yeah, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. You should cut Aubrey for fun, though, just for the banter. George would.
No, I couldn't do it. I think George is rostering 2 kickers right now.
Oh, yeah, actually, he does suck off the kickers. I dropped. You were rostering 2 kickers and cut Cortland Sutton, though.
It wasn't even a bad move.
It was fine.
He's a big Harrison Butker guy. It's fair.
The only reason I'm allowed to make fun of you for this, George, is because Cortland Sutton had a good week immediately after. I was laughing the entire time. Every time I watched him catch a ball, I was like, yeah, get fucked.
You know what's kind of crazy too? Cade literally commented like 30 seconds after I did that move. I don't know how he saw that.
Oh, we get noties, bro. You don't have notifications?
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are notifications on, buddy. You get to make fun of people.
I like the idea of George thinking that he just randomly was checking at he's just checking all the time and sees Cortland Sutton randomly. I like that as well. But yeah, we do get notifications. That's why it's scary to drop people sometimes. You really can't just drop someone like Aubrey or whatever and expect nobody to see it.
Oh yeah,
generally.
People will see it. I'll see it. Good thing Evan McPherson,
and
second best kicker in the NFL, is there.
The rewind always sees it.
Oh, you better believe it, buddy. Yeah, but the rewind sees it too late.
Except for when we do Tuesdays a lot.
Yeah, or we don't see it on Tuesday. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Lane side of the ball, Goff and Amon-Ra. Tough matchup against Minnesota. You've got that going too. There's a lot of Detroit getting tossed around in this matchup.
Love it.
Debo, Chiefs tough matchup. Derrick Henry, going to get his. He's good for a touchdown every game. Safest bet you can make. Holy shit, dude. Touchdown every single week. Same with Dave Montgomery, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
But Minnesota, tough. James Cook, starting him if he's there. Devonta Smith, back. Should be ready for action. I got Lane. Although I would start Evan Ingram probably over Njoku. Yeah. Mark Cooper's gone. I respect it. Go through gut lane. Although I'm surprised your gut isn't telling you to go with the Jag in London. Jake, you got yourself?
I do. I know CD is out, but I still feel pretty solid with this lineup, luckily. And Caleb Williams is on bye, so I don't have to think about the quarterback.
I think your lineup is shit.
All right.
But I don't think you have a choice. I don't think you have a choice. So you have some tough matchups on your good players. You know, David Montgomery and your boy J-Mo. Minnesota's tough matchup. Diggs, fine matchup. Love and Reed, we'll see. But yeah, Najee, tough matchup. We'll see. Mark Andrews, good for 0 points. So fuck that guy. George, you got Lane or Jake?
I got Lane.
Yeah.
I'll be underdog. That's fair.
You've been an underdog all year long, George. Or Jake, sorry. Shouldn't be.
I had 1 week. I think I had 1 week where my projection was higher than the other team.
Might have been 2, but I think one of them was like 0.04.
Oh yeah, there was one where it was more obvious.
Like,
Forgot who I was
yeah.
playing. Was it against Brandon or something?
Probably. Brandon's team isn't projected for much anymore. Boom. Roasted. All right, last matchup. George, Greg. All right, George. Now we got a team, baby. Now we got a team.
Oh,
Lamar,
yeah.
A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, Brees Hall, Ramondre against Jacksonville. That's actually a good matchup. T. McBee, T. Higgins. Hey, this is actually a pretty solid team. San Fran against Kansas City is a bit scary, but Kansas City hasn't been putting up a ton of points. And Mahomes is like, what? One of the most interceptions in the league as far as quarterbacks go? You have 2 bench spots?
Yeah, I'll probably pick up a defense, to be honest.
Yeah, if you think you're getting a defense, Jake's picking them up, buddy. You have to drop some
Nah,
bam.
Jake doesn't have room.
His only defense is on bye.
I'll be dropping my other defense.
I should pick up the Bears.
You're going to have to put down some big boy fab, George.
Yeah, you should.
Big boy fab. Baker Mayfield.
The only thing I'm saying here is that, Greg, I love you, but you're going to be chasing L's. That's the only thing you'll be chasing at this game.
Oh, Chase Bank and Daddy's TD Bank. There's a lot of bank going on here. Baker Mayfield being projected for sub 18 points is just downright disrespectful. He's done that twice, all year long, and they've run against good defenses. You know who's not a good defense? The Baltimore Ravens defense. This is look at his projections all year long. This is outrageous. This is Baker Mayfield erasure. Slander. Greg, I back you. I back the Chase Bank. I don't know about the matchup, but just for Baker Mayfield. We'll see. Jamar Chase, Deontay Johnson, both good starts. I love to see Greg starting Chase every week. Good for the soul. Gibbs and Aaron Jones, both tough matchups in the same game. Brock Bowers is that guy. Wandale? Really have to start Wandale?
He's had some solid weeks.
He's been pretty good for PPR. You know, he's catching a ton of passes for no yards, but yeah, okay. I guess Swift's on by. That hurts a bit. If Flacco is starting, Michael Pittman's your guy. Okay, so Jake, did you hear Michael Pittman saying that he still could go on IR after playing last week through the injury? Yeah, so supposedly he said that. And now all I can think of is as soon as Anthony Richardson's back, he's going on IR. He's like, I don't want to play with Anthony Richardson, but as long as I believe his quote was, as long as he feels like he can still win routes, he'll be on the field. So if Anthony Richardson's the quarterback, maybe he just feels he can't win routes anymore. That's crazy. I can't believe that's an option. But if he's active and Footsteps Flacco is your guy, very elite quarterback.
I think Joe Flacco is actually
then you play him.
Very elite quarterback.
You play him. Otherwise, yeah, it's probably Wandale because everybody else kind of stinks. George, your side of the ball, pretty damn good. Your bench, Tyler Algier against the Seahawks, I probably wouldn't work in. Ramondre is a little shaky, but Jacksonville's a darn good matchup, so if he plays, you're starting him. Everybody else is on the bench. Definitely not starting Rashid Shaheed. Yeah. That's kind of a tough one for me. Jake, who do you got? I need some time to think.
It is a tough one. I'm leaning George here.
Yeah?
I like George's team in this one. It's a very crazy starting lineup when you look at it top to bottom. So
George, I assume you
really
just
yourself. Ramondre,
yeah. The thing he has going for him, though, is that Ramondre has a great matchup. So if assuming he's active, he's good. And if he's not active, Algier's a fine start. He'll probably be okay. He won't goose you. He can have good games.
True.
A.J. Brown and Justin Jefferson. Jamar Chase, Deontay Johnson. George wins that battle. Running back battle. Give that to Greg, but it's close. Aaron Jones even plays. Is he for sure active? On the practice field Monday.
I don't think he's for sure, but they also traded for Cam Akers.
They did.
Today.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know what the compensation was, but I'm sure it wasn't much. Cam Akers looks horrible.
Yeah, not that it's like it's not huge news or anything, but it might be slightly concerning.
That's fair.
If you're thinking about
he's
status.
out, Madison's been okay the past couple weeks. Somehow. Yeah, this is a tough one, man. I think I'm gonna go George here. I'm gonna back you, buddy, but my heart wants to go Greg, but my gut says George. So we're gonna go George.
Hey, love you, Greg, but you're going to get that L.
Hey. Oh, jeez. Sub this with Greg.
Yo, Brandon, you trash at fantasy.
Oh, man. All right, one segment remains, gentlemen. George's favorite segment. If we're going to be honest here. Hey, you know what, George? I'm going to give you an opportunity here. I'm going to put you on the spot. Okay?
Oh,
I never roast myself, ever. But I will allow you to roast me just this one time. Would you like me to roast everybody else first while you think?
Yeah.
Okay. I will begin with Brandon, my favorite person to roast. Brandon, you are the New York Jets of this league. You're great on paper. You're hopeful for a big playoff run before the year starts. Yet neither of you can get a win to save your lives, no matter how many moves you make. You're trash. You know, the only thing that...
Roasted.
Sorry, Jake, I misled you there. The only thing I'm going to say about that is that was going to be the end. But I just thought the Jets have been firing all of their coach. They demoted, Jake's guy, offensive coordinator. I can't even remember his name. Hackett. There you go.
Hackett.
Is Brandon going to get fired? When does the owner for So Dead decide that they've been dead for too long?
Boom. Roasted.
The biggest thing to remember is we're dead. Yo, Brandon, you trash at fantasy.
It's crazy.
So many for Brandon.
George can't hear any of these buttons being pressed for whatever reason, but George, we just pressed a ton of buttons. All right, Preston's up next. Preston, every time your opponent sees that they play you that week, they get a full chub.
Boom. Roasted.
Lemons, I'm honestly just impressed that you somehow have 2 wins this year. I think that this is one of the worst rosters that I've had the displeasure of seeing in this league.
Boom. Roasted.
Last but not least, Nick. I can't think of a bigger jinx than your team name. I'll bend over for daddy.
Boom. Roasted.
Shout out, George. All right, George. Have you prepared?
Yeah, not gonna lie. I was listening to you give that roast. Hey, back me up on this. Roast him. I'll give it to you.
No, it's all good.
All right, hold on.
We'll have to bring you back on.
Hold on. I got a professional. I have a professional.
Yes.
Oh, I was gonna call him the wife.
No.
She's a professional, but she's on the phone, so I guess I'm just not getting roasted this week. Wow, it feels like a win. Yeah, get dubbed, Lane. Maybe I should roast you, Lane. Lane, your team is so trash. You started someone that didn't even play. Wow, you suck at fantasy. Terrible GM. Winning games by 55 points.
Roasted.
Yeah, fuck you. Hit him with that boom roasted button. Oh, man. All right, gentlemen. Well, it's been a fantastic week. George, always a pleasure to have you on, dude.
Thank you.
Good luck to everybody this upcoming week, except for Nick B, Lane, and Greg. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you next week.